create a rapport. I think it's the creating rapport and understanding people better. Because once you create that rapport, then you can click a picture. Otherwise, you can't. No, then there will be a certain kind of hesitation while taking picture. When you are sort of you're self-conscious about how to take a picture. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Avik. Today I have with me eminent designer, filmmaker and photographer Mr. Parthiv Shah. Hi Parthiv.
Hello.
How have you been?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, of course, we all know you have had a long span of career of like over 30 years. I just would like to know, how did it all start?
So, my father is an artist. He was an artist, and ethnographer, and designer. And a lot of photographers, architects, artists, researchers, academicians would come home. So I used to meet all of these people. And when my father used to do studies of folk and tribal art, he would use his camera. Also, documenting process of, let's say, potter's work or a carpenter's work or whatever it is. So since childhood, I saw how he would document the process, which is very important in design. So this was all in background, when I was doing it. I used to handle camera sometimes when I was even, some 15 years old or something. So that's how it started actually.
You have had such long career. Do you have any, I know it's probably going to be very difficult for you to answer, but do you have any favorite project so far? Or
I think normally whichever work, project one is working on is always a favorite, because whatever one has done is the past. And though you like looking at those work, but whatever is one is working on right now, So right now I'm working on project which is about water.
Okay.
And Narmada, the river. So I've been working actually for last many years, but it is a continuous kind of project. So that's my favorite at one level. But if you say from past, then mill workers project which I worked on, Ahmedabad mill workers, and also one of my project was on Hussain, a famous artist whose sort of personality and a dialogue with him, which I did through my camera. That is my favorite also.
Do you have any filmmaker or a photographer that you look up to? Anybody that you can think of right now?
There are many. But I think since childhood, and then when I joined IIAD, I started looking at, because I was a member of Film Society. And then while in IIAD, we were exposed to film almost every day. After classes, in the evening, there was, out of 7 days, 4 days, 4 to 5 days, we'll have films. So from India, of course, I used to like Hrithik Ghatak a lot. And Japanese like Akira Kurosawa, or even American, filmmaker like Tarantino. So there are many filmmakers and photographers. I would say initially I was very influenced by Cartier-Bresson.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my inspiration.
I would like to know one more thing, since you have done photojournalism also extensively. Do you think it has evolved in the digital age, like especially right now, or how has it evolved, if I really have to point a finger at it?
For photojournalism, if you in particular, what has happened is that earlier when the photos were taken on the site, let's say if there is a war going on, or if there is some riot happening, or some accident has happened, or whatever, or election is taking place, photographers had to come back to a place where they could process the film rolls. They could, somehow send it back to the newspaper or a news agency, which required some wiring. And what I mean is that communication channels, which now it's much easier because your cameras have now, possible that you can straight away send it through your camera, or through phone and etc. So even a remotest area in the world, it's accessible because of internet and satellite communication and all that.
That's faster communication.
Much faster. So for journalists, it's much easier to reach. To take photograph, what happens is, especially if you're dealing with people, it's not easy to take out your camera. It's unless the person is your friend, your mother, your whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, then you can take a picture. But if you are on a road and I want to click a auto rickshaw wala or a chai wala or a woman who's selling vegetables, it's not easy to start taking pictures, because there is an inhibition, and then whether they will allow you or not, all that kind. So you end up taking pictures of nature, which doesn't say anything to you, and you can just take pictures. But as soon as you want to deal with people or situation, it's very difficult to deal with it. So I would advise anybody to, start clicking pictures just on your phone first.
I want to end the conversation with how's your experience at IIAD? You just did a masterclass, and is there any advice that you want to give to the budding students, the journalists, the budding journalists, or the photographers?
No, IIAD, I've been here before, and it's a very promising design institute. Always I find students are very enthusiastic. Today also, when I saw a lot of questions were there. In fact, the time was less, there were more questions were there. So that's a rare situation. And I say this to any students, not only IIAD, is that they have to keep their mind open and not just think of design or whatever they are studying, but they need to look at, other areas, whether it's music, dance, films, architecture, photography, books, the history. They need to know all these things, because designer cannot function in isolation. They are part of society, and unless you understand about the society, you cannot design for them. So I think it is important for any student to be open and inquisitive and ask a lot of questions and read, listen, see.